Alright there, ye Eejits. So what we're going to do in this video is, first, I'm going to answer those questions that you've been asking me, and then after that, I'm just going to go over some of the big plans that I have for 2022. But for now, let's just go straight into it and ace some of those cues. So I was actually worried that there mightn't be enough questions to make a video, but feckin' hell, you bunch of mad yokes left so many. Cheers for that. I'll try and go through them all now, but it might take a while, so you best get comfortable. Merry Christmas, Jeff in Canada. Cheers for that. How's it going? So you've been interested in lucid dreaming since 1996. That's a fairly long time, so that is. Currently have 1 to 2 lucid dreams per month. That is not bad at all. You have a few questions for me. What got me interested in lucid dreaming? How long have I been lucid dreaming? How often do I have lucid dreams? And has the frequency changed over the past few years? Thank you for the video and love the channel. Thank you, Jeff. So Le Burge is a great place to start. I wish I had the same sense to look them up when I was getting into it, but it took me a long time to really take the lucid dreaming seriously. I first learnt about lucid dreaming from the film Waking Life. Very interesting and abstract little film. I recommend people check it out if they haven't already. But I was a young, undisciplined teenager. I managed to have one short lucid dream and the experience stayed with me to this day. But for whatever reason, I didn't keep up the practice. Now, since I've gotten back into lucid dreaming as an adult, I start to get some flashbacks of weird dreams and nightmares from when I was very young. Long before I knew what it was. I think I may actually have been lucid dreaming back then, but I can't say for certain. It's something I definitely want to explore more in depth, maybe another time. But I'm just going to say that I've been on and off for quite some time. As for frequency, there's no doubt this stage of my life has been the most successful. I'm older, more in tune with my mind and body, and disciplined enough to take the practice more seriously, although I have been falling behind these days. Right about the time I turned 30, I really put my mind into it, and I was having lucid dreams maybe every other day, so like 3 to 4 a week. And at the moment I'd be lucky to get 2 to 3 a month. I can account for this with a number of reasons, and if I really wanted to, I think I could go back to having them more regularly again. I think it's also very useful to see the frequency go up and down and identify exactly what's helping and hindering the lucid dreaming, and then share the knowledge with you guys. Like, if I was to have lucid dreams every night for the rest of my life, then that wouldn't really give me much opportunity to experiment. For example, I've learned that routine and a consistent sleep schedule is very important. As soon as I returned to shift work, I saw an immediate drop in lucid dreams. We also got our cat last year, which on one hand gave me plenty of awakenings during the night, but on the other hand, it didn't really give me much opportunity to snooze later into the morning, which was the best time to lucid dream for me. Some jobs also just suck the life out of you, and it's very hard to take moments to be mindful in some high stress workplaces. So it's worth considering all of these things, but for the most of us, these are unavoidable responsibilities. Alex, or Alix, I'm not sure which one it is. A little different this time around, but still a great video nonetheless. For my question, I'd ask which one of your lucid dreams was your most favourite? Well, I'll never forget my first one. It was quite profound, but it's kind of boring at the same time. I just woke up beneath a tree. So I'll talk about another more recent lucid dream, which kind of stands out and means a lot to me. You'll need a bit of backstory for this one. I was quite ill a couple of years ago, and I had to leave work for most of the year. My store manager was very good about it, and he said that there was no rush to come back and that my job would always be there for me. When I was eventually well enough to come back to work last year, this manager was out sick himself. Now, I didn't know this at the time, but it was very serious. Shortly after, I had this lucid dream where I met him. In my mind, it was my place of work, but the building looked more like a hospital. All the doors were red, and he was wearing a white coat. Now, this was a somewhat lucid dream, and I don't know why, but when I saw this guy, I just wanted to give him a big hug. Sometimes that's just how I show my excitement at becoming lucid. Now, it was kind of ridiculous, and he was laughing at the situation. I also asked him if he had any food, because I like to taste stuff in lucid dreams, but I couldn't find anything, so in the end I just ate some crayons instead. But long story short, he never came back to work, and unfortunately he passed away at the beginning of this year. Now, I'm not that spiritual or anything, and I wasn't even that close to the man, but even meeting his likeness in the dream and being able to give him a hug was comforting to me. And sometimes that's all that matters, is how these dreams make us feel. They don't need to have a deeper meaning, although they can inspire us to make more meaningful decisions when we're awake and live a better life. Jet Eriksson comments, hey, Danish Eejit here. How are things over in Denmark? Good to see an upload from you. Lucid Dreaming has been fun to practice and I've only had one, although I only did start late November. It's really motivating just to watch more about the subject, because the more I engage with it, the easier it becomes. I have 2 friends joining me on my journey and I recommend they check this channel out. I recommend it too, Jet. I recommend it too. Keep it coming, looking forward to it. Thank you. Well, Jet, yeah, I remember you talking about your lucid dream over on another video. Glad I could help you get back into it. I think it can help to immerse yourself in content and keep lucid dreaming on your mind, as long as it doesn't become kind of monotonous and second nature to you. Sometimes you also need to balance it with a bit of unfamiliarity, wonder and fresh ideas. That's kind of what I'm going for here. In the long run, I'd also like to make lucid dreams more accessible and acceptable for the general population. So absolutely, tell all your friends about the channel. Well, Jet is back with another comment and a question this time. Go on, you chancer. I'll give you another one. So, how can I practice making these dreams more vivid? Is there a way to practice making these dreams more clear and vivid, or is it just a matter of experience? First of all, I don't believe that dream vividness and experience are linked like that, and I'll tell you why. For me, some of my first lucid dreams were extremely vivid, especially my first whiles. Then, as I kept having more, I would notice the vividness fluctuate more from dream to dream. So there must be some other variables at play here. I would start by working on daytime awareness, mindfulness and memory. If you want to influence or improve anything in your dreams, it has to start with your waking behaviours. This includes, but is not limited to, practicing more reality tests. There's also the more simple answer that your mind just goes, well, the last time I was lucid, it was blurry, so this time it's going to be blurry too. And you just get stuck in this loop, which requires a bit of mental reprogramming and self-assurance that you can see clearly if you want to. Joseph in Minnesota, how are things? Joseph says, I'm honestly impressed with the video production quality, especially considering it was that way from the start of the channel. Thank you very much. It's a lot of really cool gear. Yeah, I've been doing film work for a fairly long time, you know. I've amounted a fair amount of stuff over the years. I like how you often talk about behind the scenes related stuff. I find it entertaining when creators do that. Definitely looking forward to seeing where the channel goes, even if it's just a hobby. Thank you very much, Joseph. Thanks for your comments. Glad you understand and appreciate what I'm trying to do with the whole production. When it comes to breaking that fourth wall, I think it's important you guys get to see the real me sometimes, and also the work that goes into the channel. Not just to be authentic, but also transparent. I'm an Eejit too sometimes, and I own that. Watson says, hi Stephen, the quality and creativity of your videos is refreshing, and I think it's worth keeping up to such a high standard, especially given the tutorials will exist and remain relevant for many years to come. I appreciate how much time and effort goes into them, though I suppose you could always post shorter, stripped back videos like this in between. Personally, I enjoy listening to anything lucid dreaming related, and don't mind if it's just rambling into the camera. I'm not a beginner, but I still find listening and going over the basics helpful. I like the current plan to have basic, advanced and experimental categories, as it keeps it nice and orderly for beginners wanting to learn the subject, and is something I wish I had originally. Hey Watson, absolutely. I have no plans to reduce the standard at all, and if anything, I want to make it even better. I mean, I'd love to spend twice as long on each video, but that would just mean significant gaps between uploads, and that might just hurt the channel more, unfortunately. But maybe you're right, and I could find some way to fill the gaps with something more vloggy, but still dream related. I just don't want to fall into that YouTuber trap of posting loads of irrelevant videos to meet some kind of quota. Don't get me wrong though, I've already written down loads of ideas for unique episodes, probably to last me at least halfway into next year. You bring up a good point here too. So the reason I call the first episodes foundations and not basic or beginners is because even experienced lucid dreamers may need to brush up on these important skills from time to time. So I did try to make them as thorough as possible and offer some unique perspectives that people may not have heard before. Lav says, I could have done with this last week. I lucid dream every now and again. It happened last week and I got stuck in multiple dreams trying to wake up. It was like half lucid, half sleep paralysis. It was bonkers. I was a bit scared because I realized I could conjure up anything and all sorts of crazy stuff started happening. I don't ever fly too high. I don't want to get injured. He also says, get people to share their lucid dream adventures. It might inspire would-be lucid dreamers' imaginations. Thanks for sharing your story, Lav. Ah yes, false awakenings can sometimes induce that same kind of panic as sleep paralysis when you feel like you can't wake up. It can be exhausting, but it's quite harmless at the end of the day. I hate to brag about things, but I will say this. I'm a natural flyer. It comes to me in lucid and non-lucid dreams as easy as walking or breathing, and I feel like I've always been able to do it at will. Viewers are always welcome to share their dream stories, especially lucid dreams, but of course any comments at all are appreciated. Twaddlehood says, you are as adorable and intelligent as Daniel. We need more channels like you guys on YouTube. Thank you for all you do and happy holidays. Looking forward to what comes next. Don't worry, I will call you out respectfully if necessary because I want you to succeed and I love the music, by the way. Cheers, Twaddlehood. I wouldn't say that I'm as intelligent as Daniel. He's a fairly smart and insightful man with decades of experience on me, but one could argue that I'm maybe a bit more adorable. Thank you anyway for the kind words. Happy holidays. Oh, and if you like the music in the videos, they are nearly all stream beats, copyright-free tracks by Harris Heller. Check them out in the description. The intro and outro musics are not though. I paid a license for them. Deepfake Studio asks, have you told your lucid dream characters that you are dreaming and how did they react? Thank you for that question. Yes, actually. In August, I told my dad that he was just a character in my dream and he started multiplying. It was quite funny actually. There was literally two of them looking at each other, but they didn't seem to care. I just grabbed one of them by the hand and took him flying. If you expect something bad to happen in a dream because you do something you heard you weren't supposed to do, then you will have a bad experience. It's one of those myths and misconceptions that I'll be doing a video on, but basically you can tell your dream characters anything you want, and as long as you manage your expectations, everything will be fine. But remember, telling yourself everything will be fine is not enough if you don't really believe it. Expectation is not the same as intent. Same goes for looking in mirrors. I've done it plenty of times. Results can be unpredictable, but nothing particularly scary or disturbing. Mythical Beast says, hey from London. I've had one lucid dream, sort of. I found your channel through one of your Reddit posts and it's been a great help. My question is, are there things you should avoid during a lucid dream as a beginner that could have a negative effect on you? And is it easier to have a lucid when you're younger? Hey there, Mythical Beast. Let's talk about that. So you have to be careful when thinking about anything dream related in a negative way. Even if you think you are protecting or preparing yourself, you might just be setting yourself up to fail or creating unnecessary complications or roadblocks in your path. Most things you hear people warn you not to do in a lucid dream are complete bollocks. You can do whatever you want if you just keep an open mind. Just realize it's your dream, nothing can hurt you. I suppose the only thing I would recommend is to set some small easy goals for your first few lucid dreams. If you try to achieve too much as a beginner, you may struggle. But the worst thing that could happen is you wake up. And if that happens, just try again the next time. As for age, I found that being older and more mature has its advantages when it comes to discipline, patience and persistence. I'm generalizing a bit and there will always be exceptions to the rule, but younger people have trouble grasping some of the concepts, have shorter attention spans and get frustrated when they don't see immediate results. Now, sorry if you're watching this and you're a young person. You might well be different, and the fact that you're watching this video is probably a good sign that there's still hope for you, Eejits. Thanks again, Mythical Beast. David W says, what do you think about using supplements for lucid dreaming? Are they a viable option for short to mid-term lucid dreams? Thank you for the question, David. Well, I'm glad you asked about supplements. I don't want to make a video about them until I've researched and experimented with them a bit more. The problem is, in Ireland, it's quite hard to get hold of many popular substances, as nearly everything requires a prescription here. In fact, I even had a parcel confiscated and destroyed by customs earlier in the year. I have still been able to collect quite a few, which I'll be testing and reviewing in the new year. It's just going to take some time. It's more of a long-term project. So I'm sorry if that's not really the most satisfying answer, but I can't endorse something like supplement use until I've at least tried them all myself for long enough to achieve results. All I can say is, well, I believe in the evidence that exists enough to at least buy a few to try for myself. If I thought they were complete bollocks, I probably wouldn't bother. So do with that information what you will. Just don't be an Eejit and approach that stuff responsibly. I have had a few people asking me about subtitles. Now that's something I'm going to have to look into. I can definitely manually make some English subtitles. I don't know if they can be translated automatically by YouTube, but I'll definitely be updating the English closed captions on YouTube in the new year. So I hope that helps some of you non-native speakers. And another thing somebody asked me is if I'll be writing a book. And no, I won't. I'm not an author and I'm not an expert, so I wouldn't really do a book, but what I might do is write up some templates to go in a dream journal, or maybe like make a dream journal with these forms that you could fill out every night, just to help you kind of with your dream science and your recall. You know what I mean? Like something that you could print off yourself at home for free, obviously. See, I'm not really trying to profit from this channel at all. This is all just to help you guys. The only thing that I would ever think about doing would be like some novelty merch, and I really mean novelty. I wouldn't be making a business out of it. It would just be like you know, just some funny pajamas, or like a sleep mask, or a pillowcase with a funny phrase on it, something like that. Like, I don't think there'd be a lot of money in it, to be honest. And I was thinking I wouldn't even sell them at the beginning. I just give them away, just do some giveaways, like just design some coffee mugs or pillowcases or t-shirts and just give them away. Just do some competitions or something like that. So I don't know, what do you think about that? Like, let me know in the comments. So that's it for the Q&A. Thanks again to everyone who wrote in. Now, I said I'd talk about my plans for the new year. So one of the things I was thinking of doing is like a glossary video series. So I could go through various lucid dreaming terms and keep it updated with new volumes as we go. We've also got some more advanced and experimental techniques coming up, and even exclusive insights to some technology that's in development. I also mentioned earlier that we'll be looking at supplements, but that's a big job. I'll need to make spreadsheets and thoroughly investigate each one. I showed you guys my new GoPro, which we'll hopefully have time to take outside with us more often for a bit of fresh air and a change of scenery. Something I didn't tell you though is I might have asked Santa for something even more exciting, which will get this channel off the ground next year. Now, I'll let you try and figure out that one for yourselves. If you think you solved it, leave a comment. Let's leave it there for now though. Thanks for being here for the last few months. We're definitely doing something right with this channel, but let's take a break now and spend some time with our loved ones. Nolig Honna dit, happy holidays, and I'll see you Eejits in 2022.